to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we bring to fall the giants? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A solar ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the
have Art of War facing off. We love Solbert. Both teams 0-2 at the moment. Isaac, Look at these two teams and how they stack up against one another, and on paper, they look like they're going to be very close.
They do look that way, like initially, if you don't look too far into it. However, things to note about We Love Solbert Mishmash Edition. Last week we actually streamed their match. They did end up taking off one game off of TTM Teth as a team who's expected to be one of the favorites for this season. So there's that, and also in the games that they lost, they were fairly close. Actually, the game 3 was theirs to lose, and then they lost 2 fights, and then the rest is history, as they say. But not only that, they were running with a bit of an emergency jungler. The jungler situation wasn't quite cleared up, and so now they have Charian, who's supposed to be there for the rest of the season. And not only that, Azir's back. Azir's bugs have been fixed, and one thing I do like about that,
They say that, but it's Azir, so you never know.
Valid point, but at the very least, he is enabled before we get into the bans. He is enabled, and since he isn't banned here, I do think he gives Earl King and We Love Solbert Mishmash in total just a better ability to draft around, because last week and the weeks before, one thing that I've noticed about their drafts is that they really could never get a pushing mid lane at all, just based on what Earl King plays. But he does play Azir, and so now that it's back, I think that it could definitely open up their drafts a lot more, as we see banned away Fiora, Rumble, Kog'Maw, Renata, Senna, and Vi.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because you look at the Kog'Maw ban, and at first, if you don't understand the patches, you'd go, that's a weird ban. But a lot of people have been saying that he's actually like the best marksman right now on the patch besides Senna. So I'm not too surprised to actually see that getting banned now. I would have expected it to be a red side ban just because how strong it is at the moment. But it doesn't matter. Art of War just saying we don't want to even deal with it ourselves. Honest practice, so they grab that Rel. But then getting the other side, this Ezreal, a lot of safety. And I even kind of like that Janna to deny Rel engages.
Yeah, and considering like what these two, what the jungler plays on side of Art of War Esports, counter picking doesn't exactly play a lot of Rel. Meanwhile, Oriri, their support does.
Yeah, so I'd expect.
So I mean, it can. I suspect it'll be support. I mean, technically it can flex, but I'm not saying I would be surprised, but because
I would be surprised. I think I would be a little surprised. I mean, not only have we seen Rel.
Well, now I'd be surprised. Now I'd be surprised.
no, now I wouldn't be, because now you get the Bel'Veth support, right? That's how it goes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
clearly top tier support right now, Bel'Veth. Of
but
course,
I kind of like this actually with Bel'Veth and Rel. You know, they work well together. But that's the problem that they're going to face when facing off against Janna, right? Janna's great at kind of creating that space for Ezreal, even for Talia, who are already both at creating space, good at creating space themselves. So I'm kind of curious as to how Art of War are really going to be able to attack this backline, because not only are they mobile, but they have ways to peel off and make sure a Rel, a Bel'Veth can't stick to them too easily.
Yeah, it's maybe looking for perhaps a bit of range from the rest of the composition could be a possibility. Janna, even though obviously has the series. Oh, we've got an Azir band on the blank one. It was a bit late from We Love Solbert.
Okay.
It's one of those things. One of those things that you have to deal with when you're not drafting in client. And it's that a lot of the times it's 30. The ban time's actually 30, or like the begin ban time's actually 30 seconds, but in game it starts at 27 seconds. So the whole point of that is actually so it does give you, the player, more time when it does finally hit 0, like a last minute panic out as like game design perspective. And so when you don't have that in these sorts of draft tools, some situations can pop up like that. But continuing on to the bans, that is Azir, Syndra, Poppy, and Cassante with Corki.
I'm actually not opposed to the Corki pick. I think Corki is heavily slept on, and he's one of these champions that's really safe in mid lane, can clear out pretty well. A lot of people like to say, I hate playing Corki, or he's weak, and then they kind of forget about him for a couple weeks, and they're like, oh wait, he's still always been
That's
broken.
right.
It's always Corki.
Yeah, especially since we don't have the Corki Azir possibility. That being said, Ornn, the hover from Art of War, I don't necessarily dislike that. There's a lot of ability to disrupt there. I just don't know how much on its. I mean, it's not on its own.
No, I mean, I think it's going
it's
to be dependent on what's mid lane here, right? Like, what do you want to
Yeah.
play when you're knowing it's going to be Corki? It's going to be a Talia jungle, something that can move around the map a lot. I think Hui's actually a great pick here, something that scales well and isn't really going to get punished by Corki. Hui's real weakness is in his lane phase, and that's something that a lot of people kind of forget about Hui, is that if you play these assassins, play stuff that can really do a lot of damage early, even Jace into Hui, really makes Hui struggle to do much. So having that Corki on the other side, he's going to be able to scale and get to that first, second item really fine. But that's why I even love what the answer here is. That Mundo. Talk about late game scaling. Mundo is one of the best.
Yeah, he just I mean, that is the thing, right? He goes where he pleases, and ever since his rework, he's been allowed to go where he pleases more and more often. So, fun times. And it's also with Mundo. I mean, I find it a little bit troubling on how this composition from the side of Art of War is really going to be able to do anything to him. Right?
I think the thing that sucks for Art of War, right? Their composition wants to get to 2 items. Bel'Veth, Jinx, Hui, even Ornn, handing out the ornaments, that's great. And like you said, then what are you going to do to Mundo, who also wants to get to 2 items? Corki, who also wants to get 2 items? Ezreal, Talia, all of them want to get to that spike as well, and they have really good ways to peel you back and not even have a fight. It is really, to me, for Art of War, going to be on how good are these Ornn horns, because those will start off a lot of the fights. If you can disrupt the backline quick enough and get on top of them before Janna can help peel them, that is your window. That is your time. Otherwise, you're not getting to that backline of We Love Soulbert.
Alternatively, I don't think this would be as useful, especially because the amount of we got a little bit of an issue in the client. We'll see what that's about in a second. But alternatively, with these sorts of compositions, it's one thing that you can do is try staggering out their like self peel tools and like call in one ability to have them use have them use their peel tools and then use all your other buttons that you have available to then go on them when they don't have them. That requires a lot of patience and a lot of setup, though, and it's certainly not impossible. It's actually, I wouldn't even say improbable, but it's definitely very execution reliant. And well, I haven't seen any of Art of War's games so far. And it is only week 3, so it is a bit early to say about these things, but having a super heavy, like, coordinated sort of fight like that, maybe not exactly the most advisable for the confidence at this point. But, I mean, I don't know what it's like going on in the Art of War camp. Maybe they know what they want to do, and this is how they're going to do it. But.
Well, the thing about this composition I see for Art of War is it is very... Even if it's one-dimensional, it is one of those dimensions that as long as you understand how to play that and how to use it all in tandem, there are a lot of good angles you can find. Like I said, I really am looking at the Ornn horns as being the main initiation tools to get a lot of these cooldowns burn. But Rell and Bel'Veth, if they can find good flank angles before a Monsoon, before a Zephyr come out, before Seismic Shove, before anyone could dash away, or if you can get the dashes and then have the Rell engage, there are these windows that you can find. It's just, like you said, execution heavy here for Art of War. While for We Love Soulbert, it's what I call the catch and release. They can catch it, they can push it right back at their opponents because they have great ways of kind of slowly getting themselves caught back, getting this net, and then getting it other than just surrounding the Art of War here with their composition, and especially as we get to the 2-3 items when both teams would be coming online, but as we kind of said, they're facing up against a Mundo, and unless you're killing the Mundo at all, that means you're also hitting the Mundo, which means you're wasting your damage on him because he's healing it back up, which means that Corki, Talia, and Ezreal are all getting free damage on you. So for me, it's really about Art of War understanding the composition, understanding who the real main targets are, kind of ignoring the Mundo when you get later into the game, if you can, and then finding the resets from your Jinx.
Yeah, it's really what it boils down to, and we're starting to run into a circle here. So, Mad Magical, who do you got for game 1?
It's always hard to kind of say this kind of thing just because, like you said, we're only in week 3. If I had to go based off of results, obviously We Love Solbert would probably be a little bit higher just because they have had some high caliber wins. But I would also say, based off composition, I would give it to We Love Solbert. I like their composition a little bit more than the Art of War, but it's not like the Art of War don't have ways to play the game, and I still wouldn't be surprised if they were able to pull out a dub here.
Honestly, I'd agree, but for being contrarian, so we could actually have a bit of a score to keep afterwards, I'm going to say Art of War, because in them I trust, and I shall never leave by that decision, whether or not I logically agree with it. That's what my heart says. So,
All right.
yeah, I just realized, you know what? Yeah, I think that's it. We'll send it to a break. Spectator delay is underway. And when we come back, we'll have game 1 between Art of War Esports and We Love Solbert Mishmash Edition here in the Blue Water Diamond League.
Hello, hello. Welcome back into the Blue Otter League. We are here for game 1 between We Love Solbert Mishmash Edition on the red side. I did this backwards out of order. And the Art of War Esports. We'll see how this game is going to go between the two. And we saw the drafts already. Isaac and I were favoring that of We Love Solbert. But let's
What are you
see.
talking about? I picked Art of War to win. I don't know.
We're favoring them
Oh,
in their
wait.
draft. But
Wait.
I was going to
Hold
say,
on.
you did choose Art of War as your team that you're going to champion here. So what lane are you looking at? What is going to be the big pop-off lane?
The big
for them to win?
pop-off lane. Rel levels W level 1, sits in a bush, flips them over, and double kill level 1, and then Jinx just takes over from there. Watch. Happening exactly like that.
All right. Well, we'll see if that's going to be the case or not.
I am absolutely 0% confident in that prediction. Other than that, I'm definitely totally not biased because of my own predictions. Yeah.
I mean, if I were you, I would say that they don't fall behind early.
See, there's the W right there onto the red buff. See, they're setting up for it.
But if I were you, I would say that they don't fall behind early. They get a good rotation with Hui, with Obelisk going into the bot lane. So they get a kill that way. So both Obelisk and Dolan are in a good position as Hui and Jinx. So they can scale a little bit earlier than the Corki Ezreal.
Oh yeah, but that's not fun, is it? So like...
Hey, winning isn't always fun. So there, hey, you know, they did go for the W crashdown. Got a lot of damage onto Final Ninja. But Zephyr will connect with the ward placed in the brush. Gotta be careful. It's almost getting another Mystic Shot landing there in that bot lane. But it looks like it actually is going to be pretty even. A lot of pots blown on each side.
Yeah, actually, I'm just realizing this. The rails W still on the remount still flips, right? am I going insane?
No, yes, it does. Yes,
yeah, it still flips, which is the reason why I kind of want, like in that very specific example, since I don't imagine there'll be too much excitement going on here in the early levels.
Right now, if either Ezreal or Janna get flipped, they're playing the matchup poorly.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to see it at level 1. Also, how you saw the crash down there. Yeah. I'd kind of have much rather seen the flip used to try to find a sneaky engage there.
It's so hard because the moment you step out of brush or the moment you even get close to them, there's going to be a tornado in your face. Ezreal can just get away from you easily.
Not at level 1.
I mean, you're taking tornado if you're a Janna at level 1.
I could have sworn I saw W get cast.
Nah, it was definitely tornado.
Okay,
it was definitely tornado.
My mind's playing tricks on me and for what I hope to see and what's actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, you could go W if you want, but having tornado is a bit reactionary, and if you're on point with it, you can actually interrupt the crashdown from Rel with it, but it's not very easy to do. It's one of those, gotta practice a lot to make sure you get that timing right.
Well, ignoring bot lane for now, counterpicking's looking like they might set up for a dive here in the top lane.
There's a Mundo, though. Ghost is still up. Then just throw out the cleaver. Even if you get the knock up there underneath the turret, there's a lot of damage on it. Or so it's a trade 1-for-1 top lane.
Yeah, but I would still say overall fairly favored towards the side of Art of War Esports, as that wave is, well, you know, sometimes you forget teleport exists.
Yeah, I was about to say, it would be that way if there wasn't the TP there from Mundo.
There's no teleport, however, that does mean that Ord will have a teleport. I'm not sure how much that'll mean this early on, considering only 4 minutes in. It'll be back up before 10 minutes when they get to use it onto any sort of friendly target.
Mundo's pretty much not, like, his TP is also not really for flanks and for other team fights. Yeah. Mundo's TP is for Mundo, and that's it.
Because he goes where he pleases. I mean,
exactly. If he happens to choose to go to the bot lane, that's his choice. It's not about helping you.
Yeah, gosh, don't I know it so well.
Look, I like to play Mundo, so.
No, it's okay. Mundo's a fun champion. It's just that on a personal level, dude,
he's fun to play. He's very fun to play. But not
I also can't top lane, so it's like I'm not the one being Mundo going where he pleases, so it doesn't feel so great all the time.
You want to know a secret that nobody wants to talk about that I found out on PBE during the preseason?
What
if you're jungle blue side, play Mundo.
Okay, is this the tech?
It's literally impossible.
Mad
to
Magical
stop at
Certified
level
will
one.
actually going to stop you here because we do have a fight.
Yeah, but it is on the Mundo. Above and below, we'll get the knockup. Mundo healing up the best he can, knocked up into the air. Bellows Breath will smash down the hammer to that top lane.
Okay, now it might be a bit of a now it might be a bit of a problem now that it's two. To be fair, they have both gone onto Ornn.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem. I would have liked that one to have gone on to counterpicking, but at the same time, it is Mundo, and you've got to kill him when you can, because if he gets away, then it's going to feel even worse. But mid lane, Obelisk got pulled back in by the size of Chubb, taking another brick to the face there, but not the tornado. Had the tornado connected, probably would have been a death on Tway. But as it was onto the Grub, started there by Art of War. Going to be one secured on the other side with a lot of damage on to Rel, who goes in and gets the flash away, but Spiraling Despair is already burning and taking the kill. Support for support is gone. Counterpicking taking a lot of damage on the other side, but guess who's back into the fray? It is going to be Mundo, getting everyone dashing away, but nice spear doesn't stop them. Beautiful seismic shove for getting the kill on a counterpicking, even flashing forward looking for Obelisk, but not finding it. Just one more volley out there will stop some backs.
Yeah, it was a bit hairy to start out there from We Love Soulbert. Mish, you know what? Their name is a mishmash.
Just call him Soulbert. Just call him Soulbert.
See, the issue with that is that Soulbert's actually their ADC.
It's okay. Just call him Soulbert. Soulbert is now the team. Soulbert is now the whole team.
Soulbert's now the team. Got it. To be fair,
Yes.
he is registered as the captain of the team, so this does check out. Check out. But one thing that I was pointing out, Cherry like immediately showing the like instant impact as to what they can do to start this out, and perhaps that this might be the jungler situation resolved, and going 2 kills there, and also flashing in on the seismic shove without the target being CC'd. Very audacious, and yet it still works out. I mean, the fight as a whole, not necessarily perfectly for Soulbert, but still,
I'll take it at that point.
Yeah, they definitely turned around a not so great fight just on that alone. So.
They deny all three of the grubs early, going over to Art of War. They also get one for themselves, so that means there's a guaranteed not going to be a 6 on the other side, so they can't have that full side lane pressure. Obviously, still 5 is going to be a lot because you can spawn up the might, but not having all 6 means not double as well. Getting 2 kills onto Cherry, I'm going to take that.
Yeah, and well, I mean, there aren't too many bad options that the kills could go onto this game for the side of Soulbert. To be fair, that being said, a gank once again counterpicking, trying to find.
Yeah, but Flash still there for Earl King while we go to the top lane. And this is the problem. You get 2 kills on Mundo, it still doesn't stop him. You got 2 kills onto your Ornn. How does that matter? Look at him, just standing right in front of him menacingly, saying, yeah, fight me, I dare you. But that's what I was also talking about the bot lane, how you can stop the engage of Rel with the tornado.
Yeah, it's just really tough as Rel in this lane.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think the only, like, worst matchup is, like, maybe Alistar for Rel specifically.
Alistar, I think Alistar versus Rel is literally, like, whoever engages first on either side loses, right?
Yeah. Neither
side can engage. This one, it's never going to be Janna, obviously. And I find this one worse. Just because you get poked out by Janna, there's a shield, there's a tornado.
Yeah.
Fails, you got Monsoon.
Yeah, in general, the combined lane with Ezreal, that being said,
hold on,
Obelisk.
Waiting for the seismic shove, not even using it, just holding on to the entire time. Then you're not getting out of that one too easily. So now it's all over the map. We're seeing that We Love Soulbert Mishmash edition. There we go. I got it for you.
There we go.
Every lane so far is getting leads, even if they're minor leads, like the minor lead of gold through the 5 CS of the bot lane. But every single one is ahead.
Yeah, and it's when you get every lane winning, it's one of those things, especially with this composition. If they can get objective control, that being said, flash in, but that's what I was talking about, that Monsoon. With the Zap connecting, that's going to be nice. They get a lot of damage on a Final Ninja with the rocket, finding the reset there for Dolan, but the reinforcements are there. Cherry can help out, but a little bit of poke on to counterpicking. Means they're going to fall back while top lane continue to skirmish. Tank versus tank. Doesn't seem quite like that because both of them are pretty low. Yeah, well, both of them can also do a sneaky amount of damage, especially like Mundo getting just free cleavers off and a mid if he gets close enough, the Bella's breath can really hurt.
Yes.
Surprisingly. So sometimes you think, oh yeah, oh you know, it's
health
just
damage does a lot, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter who you are, and especially into someone who has a lot of percent max health. It could definitely. It is still a wet noodle fight, but a bit of a surprising one every now and then.
It's like a wet noodle fight that's lined with lead. That's kind of how it feels, because they're just smacking each other. Like right now, you're going for the gank, having reinforcements here, but Knights Ravens is kind of kiting it back. He's got the ult still available if he wants to pop that. It's going to be the Orin Horn called in, trying to heal up, but a little bit too late on using that ultimate. But while that was happening, we saw that it was the Void Grubs taken here by Solbert, getting themselves up to 3. Only 1 remaining. They'd like to get the 4th. They're going to get that one. Try to get out. That is going to be Spiraling Despair, flashed away, but Janna's going to be the target with how low she is. Seismic Shove did disengage a little bit of time, but Obelisk can hunt that with the Shivering Bolt, but not enough damage.
No, that alone, this early on from play, can definitely do a lot of damage later on, but this early, yeah, not exactly
it did
greatest.
negligible damage because Final Ninja just put the shield on themselves and like, yeah, you do nothing.
Yeah, come back in like 10 minutes time. It'll probably be a different story. But yes, that's for 10 minutes from now. And as it stands, I don't even say that it's slightly favored towards Art of War Esports, because throughout all that time, yes, they did get the kill onto Night Ravens, but as you're saying, it is in fact Mundo and Ezreal moment. Sorry.
Yeah, just you thought for a second, you're like, oh wait, is he gonna get tagged? And you're like, oh wait, it's Ezreal. You just
I had that in the back of my head. It's like I was getting ready to like maybe hand it over to you. I was like, but then Ezreal
I was ready not to talk at all.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, to be fair, it was lined up perfectly that if it did hit, that would be dangerous. But
I'd flame Solbert if that landed.
Oh no, absolutely, it'd be justified. It'd be completely justified if it did. It's just I get baited. This is probably the reason why I'm not so great at playing the game myself, is I get baited by the most small things all the time. It's like, no,
I'm getting baited right now. Earl King might get baited here. There's going to be a lot of damage, as you were talking about. The Severing Bolts are now actually doing a lot with reinforcements nearby, but not landing that one means that Earl King and Cherry just get out through the jungle.
Yeah, just more of the same, really, inside of Solbert, is that they can just decide no. And actually, Dolan's going to be fine here, so...
Dolan's just going to take a little bit of poke. I mean, I would have been surprised if just rub salt on the wound there. If Solbert had thrown out True Shot Barrage and be like, Yeah,
the cooldown is short enough.
And with the fact that the support's not there, you could throw that out.
Speaking of damage.
You threw it out just a little bit too late for me.
Yeah, no, and also... It wouldn't be completely for nothing. Those low health bars that we saw just from now, and that's without landing that Choose Shot Barrage, going to probably force a recall here, at least. Ooh. Yeah,
I would be surprised if Solbert did not back here. Has enough gold for that first item. You can see the static shift for Dolan that was completed earlier, but Solbert has stayed in the lane a lot longer, trying to get the Tear of the Goddess stacked up a bit more. So actually staying in the lane, if you look at the minimap, hanging around there for a lot longer. And that, like I said, that's enough gold to pick up your first completed item.
Hold on, let me tap X real fast so I could actually see.
It was 1,300.
Yeah, here. Okay, yeah. No, it was one of those things that
Okay, wait.
We do actually. Hold on, we got it.
Yeah, I thought for a second that Amid was still going to fight Knights Raven. Look, I know you've gotten 3 kills on Mundo, but you're still Ornn. And trying to fight Mundo by yourself ain't gonna work. You need the rest of the team if you want to do any damage, and it's still gonna take you forever because he's got that Heartsteel, and now the team is on to the Rift Herald. Rocket will connect on a Cherry, doing a little bit of damage. Amid does have the TP, but will have to go to the top lane if they want to use it. They're getting scared away. Art of War, not ready for the war that is being brought by Solbert.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if Solbert's composition gets any sort of neutral objective control, like, unless if you find a miracle angle on the side of Art of War, like, what do you do to walk into Corgi, Ezreal, Telia, Janna?
There's no Ezreal. Keep that in mind. There was no Ezreal. Both Ezreal and Jinx were bot lane. I think
valid, but that doesn't change. It doesn't change my point.
Hey, nicely done there or Riri. I really like that Shattering Strike. Pretty much saying, I know where you have to jump. Got the stun. I mean, it's not much damage on a Solbert, but just showing those mechanics. The little things are what matter sometimes.
Yeah, Oriri there. I want to say if I
Riri. That's a fun name.
Oriri. No, if I
Wait, that's the wrong thing. Hold on, because now Earl
Speaking
King
of Ariri.
has the Valkyrie try to get away from Ariri, but solo bolos Earl King right underneath the support as Ariri has to get back underneath the turret, taking a rocket to the face. On the other side, it's going to be the flash in with the Magnet Storm. Can try to get away with
Earl King
Valkyrie,
might
but
have
not
this.
below, getting a lot of damage and
maybe
taking
not.
down that shutdown.
I thought for a second, but then the CC came through that. Earl King.
Also because
Might
you're not
be able
leveling
to-
up, you're not leveling up Valkyrie, so I think it has like a 20-second cooldown right
Oh,
now.
that is a valid point.
So it's like insanely long, so already using that to engage, and then the flash 2 to pick up the kill. It's one of those things you're like, yeah, unless you can somehow just dodge everything, you're not lasting long enough for Valkyrie to come back up.
No, that's true. One of those things. This is why I'm actually awful at playing the game because I only notice them after they happen.
Hey, look. I'll tell you right now, I ain't got no hands when it comes to this game. My hands are not. Mine's just. I'm carried by the fact that I've been playing this game since 2010.
Hey, you might not have hands, but I don't have hands, nor do I have a head sometimes. So, like,
That's what my teammates say about me too.
I mean, let's be real. When haven't any of your League of Legends teammates said that about you ever? There's no one.
Fair.
There is no one who has played this game semi-regularly and has not had that happen.
You know what? That is a good point. Right now, good point is that the Rift Herald is being spawned here in the mid lane. That is packaged there for Earl King. It looks like Art of War kind of peeling back a little bit, being cautious, but they should stop the charge completely. It does get a lot of damage onto that tier 1, but not nearly enough to actually take it down with Oriri nearby. Actually, I'm baited by that. The graphics on that skin for Corki made me think that the package was up.
Yeah, it's one of those quote-unquote pay-to-win. Oh, wait, hold on, Cherry.
Seismic shove there from Cherry, but the Spiraling Despair dash in with a huge burst from the rock. Get picks up a shutdown onto Cherry.
Yeah, welcome to this sneaky amount of damage that Hui actually does. It's so hidden. It just... it's like you can logically know where it comes from, having read his kit and like played against him many times and like watched him be played many of times already, but it never surprises me just how much damage all of a sudden that he does just out of the blue. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
The ulti pretty much treat like a fizzle. It's like an easier fizzle because you don't have to be long range away. It'll automatically just do that damage no matter where you hit it. So just land it, wait a few seconds, boom, they take a lot of damage.
Yeah, and like fizzle, like early on, you don't think about it much, but then it's like all of a sudden we hit like 14, 15 minutes, and it's like, oh, well, there's my health bar gone. Cool.
Exactly, because it's one of those things too. Like you said, it's like early on, most of Quay's kit doesn't really do that much damage. He needs those items to really do much, except the ult. The ult will do a lot of damage at every point in the game.
I think it's the fact that it's also over time that throws you for a spin. It's just like, okay, at any second now, this will stop ticking, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, it'll stop. Wait, speaking of, all right, counterpicking, yeah.
Just gonna have the Valkyrie away, takes a couple missiles to the face. Well, Riri was on the other side, Rel having to gallop her way out of that one. And it's kind of weird. You know, if you look at the kills, you would think that Art of War are the ones that are winning. But unfortunately for them, they are slipping behind in the gold. That really is spelling down to mistakes like this as the mid had to flash away, calling the Horn, taking a couple cleavers to the face, but he can't knock up Mundo, not when he has his passive up, and he can chase that down. Meat Cleaver picks up a solo bolo.
Yeah, just really misread from a mid, really. Don't really know what else to say. That it's just not quite recognizing the danger that he was in until it was way too late, and the damage is already done. So, yeah.
Plus, we didn't even really talk about the fact that Night Ravens had already taken the top lane turret. So that's where Gold comes in from the top lane. That happened during the play in mid lane because he was just like, yeah, okay, I'll just go here and keep attacking this, I guess. Just get free damage. Demolish procs help out as well, which then leads it so that now you get this gold lead across the map. You got the solo Bolo to make up for the kill earlier. You have control of the dragons. That's your second one of the game. So sure, you're not getting the stacking at the moment, but having 2 at 20 minutes, when we talked about both teams really relying on 2 item spikes, and we are now at that point where most of those 2 items are getting completed.
Yeah, and especially as we saw there with these neutral objectives, as the gold starts to favor We Love Silbert more and more. And if they have to keep sending more people to answer Night Ravens on the side of Art of War, it's just so difficult to walk into this composition at these neutral objectives. It just, if they have any sort of vision on you, you can't even get near it, and it just sucks to play against.
It's just one of those compositions that whittles you down over time. I'm feeling like maybe the Art of War didn't really read Sun Tzu, because that is a classic strategy in that book.
I mean, to summarize that book is Lamau Get Good, but
Yeah, pretty much. Lamau get good and wait for your opponents to starve to death.
yeah,
That's pretty much how I've read it.
yeah. That's basically what it boils down to. It's just, I mean, at some point it probably was defining for sure, but to be fair, when you do read it out, it's kind of a bit hilarious.
I mean, granted, I think anything that's from 2,000 years ago is pretty hilarious in modern standings.
Well, yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like it's so highly touted, where if you don't read it until don't understand with that context going in, that like basically it's like, yo, they can't fight when they're hungry. It's like, if you don't know the context of that, like going into, you're just like, oh yeah, it's this historical text that I have to read. It must be like so full of wisdom. It's like then you actually look at it, it's like, oh,
Surround your opponents, have more food, have more men.
Yeah, it's like when you have more men to fight with, you have an advantage. It's like, oh, dude, no, really?
Make sure you all get a good night's sleep, or that you're interrupting your opponent's sleep schedule so they don't have a good night's sleep.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind
Maybe
of funny.
that's what happened
Speaking
here.
of,
Silver having to flash and use the flux to get out of there. So that's actually pretty good there from Oriri. Getting 2 key summoners off, because the ghost was also popped by Solver. So, I mean, it's still Ezreal, still has ways out of there. The fact that he had to use so much just to escape could be something that they can attack later on.
well, yeah, I mean, he goes from having 3 to 1 on his own anyway.
I mean, most champions have 1, let's be real.
Well, yeah, at this point, but still, even if most champions do have 1, when you do, by that logic, most champions have at least 2 as a way to get out with Flash. And so now that you have all
No, that's what I was talking about. It's just 1 with Flash.
Oh, I'm so dumb. I'm just...
See, this is how I know you're a modern League of Legends player, because you're used to every champion having a dash.
Yeah.
And I'm an old League of Legends player. I remember back when Sion had 2 fully different kits in his kit, where you either put everything in your Q and W or everything in your E and R. Yet you didn't put a single point into either of the others if you didn't play the right build.
Yeah. I've only heard tales, but
I was really good at it.
yeah.
Sion used to be one of my favorites, just because it was like, do I want to go full AP and one-shot someone with a stun and then dance on them before popping W? Or do I want to dive the fountain today? Man, choices.
Different times for sure. Ones that I honestly kind of wish I was around to see, just to have
So fun.
just to have the perspective more than anything.
Honestly, so fun. So glad it's over.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, honestly, like that was like I'm a Sonateric. Like, it was fun for a patch, but like, thank God it's like no longer a thing.
Right. It's like, look, I'm one of the most toxic players when it comes to the champions I'll play. And when things get nerfed that I find really good, I'm pretty much always thinking, oh, finally. Like, this needs to get nerfed so hard, because this is stupid that this works. Like, the fact that LeBlanc used to have a silence on her Q and it was point and click was ridiculous. Oh, though that is a good fear on a Cherry. Having to flash back over the wall. Rocket coming out as well. The package used by Earl King to get away. But Cherry being so low could mean that Art of War could look for a fight. Keep in mind, Amid has been pushing in the bot lane this entire time, and we actually see Art of War saying, all right, if you want to go for the Dragon, we're going to go for the Baron.
Yeah, and I honestly don't disagree with this because...
Oh, this is good. This is a good call. I like this call.
Yeah, because they should be able to melt this pretty fast. And with Cherry not being here, there's like no real easy way for his skill to come
God, just
through.
the knock him on a Solbert. They don't have Cherry, like you said, the fight is gone. Try to go for the engage, but it's all on Mundo, taking a lot of damage so they get the kill onto Burrell. But inside the pit, counterpicking has been on the Baron this entire time. Smite secures it, but there they got to dash back in with a knock him on a Solbert in the pit, but double kills them, taking them all down. And now they can dash over the wall, looking to clean up a Jinx, but it's not him. It is the Corki, as Amid will fall to both the might of the support and jungler.
And through all of that, we're still waiting for this league's first triple kill. I'm not joking.
That's kind of funny because that was 2 double kills in that fight too.
I know. I'm sitting here one of these times, like all of last game. I thought it'd be like a funny. I thought it'd be like a funny little snippet to have once somebody finally gets one, and if it happened live. But I just figured after 2 weeks we'd have one by this point.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like okay, no
way there for
it's
2
like,
people.
Yeah, it's like no Quadra, fine, you know, those are a lot. No pentakills, yeah, sure, there might not be one all split and that wouldn't be too abnormal. There's only 7 weeks. That's at maximum 21 games. Not a lot to go off there in a single regular season. But the fact that we haven't had a triple kill yet is beyond hilarious to me.
I'm now hoping that Night Raven is the one to get it on Mundo. Just because that'd be
yes.
even funnier.
Oh yes. It's a kill
funnier.
on Mindo to like set to be the first, and actually we have a pause.
Yes, we do.
Interestingly,
it gives us this gives us a good pause to kind of like digest what just happened in the game, because the game was pretty close up until that point. We were talking about how we left Solbert Mishmash Edition. We're getting that gold lead slowly but surely. But the thing for me is they get that dragon in the last fight, and yes, Art of War got the Baron, but not one of them survived to keep the purple. So now look at the items. I talked about 2-3 items being power spikes for both teams. Well, you got 2 items on Art of War, but you got the 3 items on the other side for We Love Solbert, and that to me is gonna make these next fights even worse for Art of War. And really, we saw how close some of the fights could get, but they just really couldn't do anything to stop Night Raven chasing down the back line, and then the damage from Cherry, Solbert, and Earl King whittling down these really immobile carries such as Obelisk and Dolan.
Yeah, obviously these champions very skill shot based, so it's one of those things that does require that level of execution. As we have our little,
no,
yeah,
this is the post pause.
Yeah,
I'm so used to it now. It's like I know exactly what it is.
Here's the thing. My brain never gets used to anything, no matter how many times I see it.
I see. Well, I hate to imagine what's gonna happen when the new Skarner hits the rift for you.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness.
I've been playing it on PvE, and
I haven't even looked at the kit yet, so
it's fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun.
to play as.
No, actually, play as and against. His ult's a little bit more, a little bit easier to play around. It might seem insane that he can impale 3 people, but it has a channel time, and he can't flash while the channel time's going.
That's actually.
Yeah, I've been trying. I've been trying everything to get the flash to work with impale, because I know if I can get that to work, that is going to be the most broken ability in the game.
That actually, surprisingly. That doesn't sound too bad.
No, actually, if anything, his his E is more broken than anything. That's the one that gives him a bit of the kit, like Kane, to go through walls.
Oh.
But if he collides into you, he grabs you, and he'll pull you for the rest of the duration.
That's crazy. Wait, hold on.
And if you run into a wall, you're stunned too. So that's honestly the part of the kit that's more broken.
Yeah, that sounds more like an ultimate ability.
It's got a long cooldown, and it's very telegraphed and very easy.
Okay, so it might as well be an ult. Or not necessarily, maybe not an ult, but definitely
to me, it's on the same caliber as, say, like a Yasuo Windwall, where I think Yasuo Windwall is even more powerful than that as a basic ability. But it's like it's kind of broken. It kind of breaks the game in a lot of ways. but because it's such a long cooldown and it's so telegraphed that it's okay.
Well, I don't know. I was going to try to make a telegraph to items analogy here, but unfortunately, we're not living in the 19th century.
Yeah, Night
Because-
Raven, I'm pretty confident if you had turned, you probably could have killed counterpicking at this point.
Probably.
Like, I know Night Raven's like, oh man, there's 3 people there. You're Mundo and you're level 16. I'm pretty sure you could win that. I think Night Ravens just wants to get Titanic first, and then we'll look for the 1v5s.
Plus, it never hurt to just play it safe, you know?
It does his Mundo.
Mundo
Mundo goes
it's-
where he pleases.
You know
don't
what?
Don't want to let anyone dictate where you should be on the map. You are Mundo. Go
That-
where you please and fight who you want.
This message has been brought to you by the official I don't know, I'm trying to come up with something other than just Mad Magical, but
That's okay. You could just say the Mad Magical Corporation. I don't care.
okay. Is that what does the Mad Magical Corporation sell, sir?
Memes mostly.
Awesome. You know, I
Yeah.
think I'm support. I'm normally not a corporate shill, but if they're
Yeah,
selling
dude.
memes, man,
Exactly.
I will
Now you see
shill.
why it's so good. All right, well,
Yeah.
hold on. We might have a 5v5 here in the mid lane because everyone is ready to party. Zephyr not connecting. They're on a couple of abilities, Paints in that mid lane. But neither side really wants to engage because so much poker's coming through. Now, finally, using the ult, it will tag Earl King on the other side. Most of that is looking for the engage from Ori. Getting a lot on Earl King, but he still gets out of there. And guess what? They just cut you back using Monsoon. Explosion of damage with the Crypt Bloom picking up the kill. Earl King gets chased down by a mid, but everyone else is falling. Double kill there for Solbert. He can be the first one for the triple kill as the dash is in. There it is, your triple kill. First one for the Diamond League comes to Solbert.
We get. It takes us 3 weeks, but we get a triple kill. Actually, I guess
hold
that's
on.
pretty fitting. Wait, no, it could
We
be.
might
quadra.
end up getting an unofficial quadra. I think it's been long enough where it won't register. Oh, and Cherry actually gets it, so no quadra kill regardless.
Actually, Solbert was in the mid lane.
Oh yeah. I realized that afterwards.
No, so did I. I was with you. I was
Well, I'll be
I
honest,
was hoping.
I need to be in the game client next time because on Discord sometimes the names are very blurry.
Oh yeah, so that is a thing that happens quite often. It's something that you got to work with, and well, there's enough spectator slots, so we'll you can definitely hop in this next time around. We'll work that out. But other things aside, while that was happening, we got a Hex Tech Soul for the side of We Love Solbert Mishmash Edition. And,
sadly, that's where the game just ends. Like,
yeah,
as much as you want to try now,
like what is Oriri going to do here? Going to call his friends
even
over?
with everyone calling in,
Yeah.
they have the Magnet Storm, but they're getting a lot of damage. And look at how Knights Ravens is just standing there. Everyone's like, let's look for the back line. Now we can turn for the Mundo, but the Mundo's already getting the damage on Dolan to pick up a kill easily, and then turn to Oriri. Double kill for the Mundo. Dash away for counter picking, but you're not escaping Mundo. He goes where he pleases, picking up a rampage for Solbert as a mid. Cannot get on top of the back line. Now it's your turn in the ring. Even if you get a little bit of damage on the final ninja, you will fall to the double kill out of Solbert.
Yeah, so now not only can Mundo go exactly where he pleases, you can't go where you please either. you're just stuck there.
And not only that, you're stuck in the grave while the game is about to end. It is all black and white here for everyone besides Obelisk, and you're about to join them. One missile to the face, Ace in the base. We Love Solbert will take game 1.
And there it is. We Love Solbert.
A summoner has disconnected.
Something that I was definitely hoping to see out of them this week again, especially new jungler and you know the picks being slightly more open for Earl King to have his champion pool kind of available to him, and those two alone. Obviously results-based analysis maybe not exactly the best thing to go off of, but game 1 looking like Solbert just might be the team to kind of surprise us as we start heading towards the second half of the split. But obviously we'll have to wait for game 2 Mad Magicals. But
Yeah, but I want to bring up one thing while we can see this. So look,
Okay.
I expected Knights Raven to have a lot of damage. They had Sunfire, and they're going up against a tank. You're just innately going to have insane amount of damage because you're not really actually doing damage. It just kind of artificially inflates that. But I'm surprised that a mid had the most for Art of War.
Yeah.
That one
Actually,
shocks me a little bit.
yeah.
Uh,
That.
yeah, you see
That,
why I'm a little like, I'm like, Tank's OP. Tank's OP? Can we agree?
I think we can agree that.
Shake on it?
Yeah, we can agree. Or hold on. Let me
Other way,
get this.
Yeah, other way.
Yeah.
Other way. Other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
All right, perfect.
All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you for that. Was game 1 taken by We Love Solbert. Mishmash edition. We'll see if Art of War Esports have what it takes to bring it back into a game 3 after a short break. Hello, hello. Welcome back into the Blue Otter League. We're getting ready for our Diamond League. Myself, Mad Magical, and Isaac, as we're getting into the draft. Our teams have swapped sides. The We Love Solbert Mishmash Edition will be on the blue side, and Art of War Esports on the red. You're going to see the draft so far. Despite changing sides, nothing really else has changed.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised by that. Pure is a very big comfort pick for Night Ravens, and so not giving that over to them seems fairly sensible. That and Amid has played a lot of tanks so far this split, and if he hasn't played a tank, he's played Renekton. So not exactly the best Fiora matchups kind of there. That being said, I don't believe there are any change in bans from game one.
I don't believe so either. I think everything is the same. Like I said, even though despite changing sides, nothing really has changed at all. Even getting a first pick Ezreal for We Love Solbert. Having Solbert on comfort. Not too surprising on that one. We also saw just how difficult it was for Art of War to do much into this composition to get on top of him. So that's where I'm expecting to see the changes here for either team, is in these first two picks. Zeri, interesting pick here. That is a very interesting change there. But I'm wondering if it's going to be a Zeri Renata Glask. Actually, that is the one change that has changed. It's Maokai instead of Renata here for We Love Solbert. So they could easily grab that, which could give them a lot of power in the bot lane. But instead, they go for an early Poppy.
I don't know if I like Poppy this early.
I like Poppy, actually. I think Poppy's fine.
I think Poppy's a fine champion.
Even early. I think Poppy is actually broken, and people are sleeping on Poppy. I think Poppy is got 3 roles she can flex into: top, mid, I know 4 actually, because she can go mid. Top, jungle, mid, and support. Like, that is how strong this champion is. She counters an Ezreal. You want to play that Bel'Veth again? No, you don't, because you're not going to get that chance. You have anything with dashes. Corki's out the window. You don't have your engage either. So pretty much, I like Poppy. I think Poppy really does dictate how this draft now needs to go for We Love Solbert.
I think this is the point where I bring up that it was actually Art of War playing Bel'Veth last game.
As I said,
it was the side. I can understand why that's an easy mistake to make.
Also, by the way, Poppy also can stop a magical journey. Just gonna let you know. If you're in the middle of that and she's along the side of it, she actually will stop you from going in the magical journey.
That does make sense. I've never seen it
Poppy
before, and I've never considered it.
Good. Even if your team doesn't have dashes, just her ult alone is already good.
Well, you know who else is really good right now is Nautilus.
This team, I like. See that, and this we like. This right here, all this here, I like this.
Oh, all right, Mr. Clarkson, if you say so. Yeah, but seems like
this is good.
But I like this. Yeah. But as we go through the second phase of bans, definitely targeting this mid lane so far, and actually a lot of very specific comfort picks for these two mid laners. They're not exactly the most meta right now. Maybe Corki we saw last game.
Corki, Aurelion Sol is still in there. The Kassadin has been slowly working his way back up, but it's the fact that Azir hasn't been touched yet, and that's kind of why I'm a little surprised to see that hasn't been banned. And if that Gwen goes through, that means Azir left wide open. So, Art of War, you want to grab that away from Earl King? That's really the question. That's why I'm really curious by this. So I think you have to grab the Azir.
Yeah, that is for sure. There's like no way that you should let that over in a million years.
Exactly. I like another champion I really like. Veigar is a really good champion. I think really strong in a lot of this. I think that he's another thing that people have been sleeping on. They're characters that don't get picked too often that I really like. So I would like to see this get picked up right now. They do grab that. And then how do you round out the comp here? What do you put in top lane? Ornn struggled last time.
you put Mundo.
We love the ability to play that, though. That's the question.
Or
I don't know. Sorry. What am I saying? They swap sides. I keep getting confused by that. Yeah, they could. No, but then Mundo. I actually don't like Mundo against Azir. Azir's really good at doing a lot of damage to Mundos. So I actually think that the Cassante is a little bit better. Also a better blind pick compared to the Mundo. But now, Amid, this is where what do you want to pick here? Do you want to go back to that Ornn? It'd have a really, again, a really telegraphed composition and really easy to like digest identity to them. But I kind of like it better than what they had last time.
Spicy. Hear me out. Amid has played a lot of marksman, and oh well, that's.
You want
that's-
spicy?
I don't know if I like this though.
Hey,
like this into Cassante though.
When you get spice, sometimes you get a pepper that just ain't for you, and this is what it's gonna be right here. You got an Aurelia.
It's certainly spicy, but I was thinking something that Art of War haven't played yet, and something that I know Amid does play. He's definitely a marksman top lane connoisseur, which makes him a heathen. However, I wouldn't have necessarily hated it in that sort of situation into Cassante. Aurelia though, I don't know.
Hey, I know it's spice. That's all I know. And now we see the compositions for each team. Will Art of War be able to utilize this Aurelia to take game 2, get us into game 3? Or is it going to be We Love Silbert Mishmash Edition taking the clean 2-0? Find out after a short break. Hello, welcome back into the Blue Otter League. And it's game 2 here in week 3 of our Diamond League. Blue side this time is We Love Solar Mishmash Edition up against Art of War Esports.
30 seconds
But
until
We Love
minions
Solar,
spawn.
they were the team to take game 1 over that of Art of War. And now we've got our compositions here in game 2. And I know you aren't so thrilled about the spice going into this one, but you were the one who bet on Art of War winning the series. So how do you feel now?
Uh,
How do you feel now? Are you gonna try to
just-
rest on the, oh, I did this as like I just wanted to be different, or am I gonna be able to say no, you chose this?
I did. Well, that was my reasoning of why I chose, but that doesn't mean I'm going to back down from my choice, right?
Aha! Good man.
I don't just because my reasoning may not have been the strongest or the greatest. That does not mean I'm going to back down on it at this present moment.
Good.
That being said, if we're talking about just this game alone, picking Aurelia into Cassante, yeah, I don't know. I have them marked down to win. You know, maybe they know something I don't. They are a team. They actually have a coach this time around, Sword Blue. Maybe he knows that maybe he knows the tech. He definitely knows more tech than I do because there'd be a lot less. That being said, bot lane.
Bot lane just a trade back and forth, and not too surprised to see that it's a Bard Ezreal lane. You're Nautilus. You see them not behind minions. You throw a hook, see what happens. But if that doesn't work, then you're going to take a lot of damage. So it's kind of the ebb and flow of that bot lane. But top lane, Amid actually got the level 2 priority. So got a good chunk of damage there on a Night Craven while bot lane. Kind of like I said, you see them not behind minions as Nautilus. This comes from someone who's a seasoned Nautilus player. I would do the same. It's pretty much every time I see them that they're not protected by minions, I have hook up, I throw hook.
Yeah, and well, that's another. That was maybe a little more hopeful than the last
That was a
two.
bit more hopeful. That one, yeah, that one. You know, I understand you're hoping the lollipop works on your side that time, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, one thing, but back to the. I
Too
keep
late. Oh, good
getting.
done there
I
from
keep
Final
getting.
Ninja. I liked that. I liked that.
Here's what I want to look at though. Amid, I wasn't expecting him to take such a level advantage early on. I figured Aurelia would struggle in the early levels, but currently, I mean, I haven't seen this matchup played ever. Right?
I have, and it hasn't gone this way. So
Okay.
I will say that. I have seen this, but it has not gone this way. In fact, it's usually the way that you describe. Usually it's level 1 until level 16 is Cassante.
And then level 16, it's even.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't even flip to be Aurelia favorite.
It's just even. No, actually, it actually does become really at that point.
No,
'Cause
I would figure it would.
yeah, usually by then you have Blade of the Ruin King, Wit's End, and just once you have those 2 items, honestly, you're able to fight against Cassante. So, and then sometimes, depending on the build, depending on how greedy you are as Aurelia, I have seen Terminus actually be built lately. It's a very greedy build in my opinion, even though it does provide you some tank stats. It still makes it a little bit easier for someone like Cassante, who's not really hitting you all the time, not really using magic damage all that much to get some good poke on you.
Yeah. Hold on. You ever just get something that enters your brain, but then you listen to
All the time.
But I'm like, okay, but like I need to listen. I need to listen to some of my fellow cast here because we're still running a show, right? I can't just think about what I'm going to say and like ignore it. And then so you're in this weird like middle ground. Oh wait, hold on. Jerry's here.
Mid, using the minions to try to get away, flashing from the seismic shove there as the baby cage is put down in the mid lane. Earl King even throwing back a baleful strike there. Just getting a little bit of damage. But well done from Mid to get out of danger there in the top lane. Did have to expend the flash. That's why counterpicking has rotated into the top lane. Try to scare away Jerry. Make sure that this Aurelia is going to be the big threat for the team. Because imagine, Amid was able to get a lot of poke there. That Doran's blade helped out. But also having that Cole, having gone back early, utilizing that level pressure lead to get a cheater recall and come back in with Cole. What Amid is looking here is to get an earlier spike than that of Night's Raven knowing that at some point early into the game, once you get these components, that Cassante, even if you got that good trade earlier, is going to get a point you're not really going to deal with them until you have your first item. So Mid's just saying, all right, I need to spike that faster. I need to make sure that I'm getting to that point. I'm going to struggle here probably about level 6, level 7. And if I can get that item completed before Knight's Raven, then I, as Aurelia, can 1v5.
You know, that's what it was that I had in mind. It was about a mid on Aurelia. A mid on Aurelia is just one of those, in certain, at least in solo queue.
Ooh, that was a good flash there in the bot lane to get away. We see the top lane fighting a bit. Going into the bot lane, Magical's Journey was taken. I don't think counterpicking had used the steadfast presence against the wall. That's one of those times you could have. I've seen it before. It's kind of wild. It's kind of weird too. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
I like this from Knight's Raven. Just not letting the easy back come through from a mid. Again, this is at the point of the game when a mid isn't going to have as easy of a time against Knight's Raven. Just taking a lot of damage there. Needing to get back, but with the wave it kind of frozen by Knight's Raven. I'm a little worried there for a mid as he's going back. He's not going to have those components. He'll have, yes, a Vampiric Scepter. But at this point of the game, this is when Cassante is kind of unmanageable as Aurelia. But we did see this Knight there. Denying the Magical Journey. As I told you, I had to click it so many times, but it was way too late. They do get the Seismic Shove, so will you trade of 1 for 1 while the Dragon was secured by Art of War. Baby Cage laid down by Earl King. Not tagging Obelisk. Able to dodge most of the damage there, except for that Baleful Strike.
Yeah, I've finally seen with my own 2 eyes the Poppy saying no to the Magical Journey. So
yeah, it's like you can click it a million times, but as long as Steadfast Presence is up, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of hilarious. Honestly, it's kind of hilarious.
Wait, all out for a Vanguard's Edge here. Top lane fight. This is looking Cassante favored. Like I said, that's what I was fearing for a mid.
Oh!
Mid lane. Oh, Baby Cage, Seismic Shove, Earl King. Well done to get the kill on Obelisk.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a little bit surprised that that Event Horizon did stun there. I thought
What's that? It's Baby Cage.
Ah, yeah. I'm surprised that the Baby Cage actually locked out.
You know what I'm surprised by is that they haven't made like a baby Vigar skin yet. You think
isn't
about
that isn't that what this one kind of is though?
Kind of, I guess it's the closest. But I'm talking about like make it so that when the Baby Cage comes up, it's an actual crib.
Oh my goodness.
With like
okay.
with a little, what is it? What is the thing that is above the cribs? I forget what it's called.
The
Oh, wait, hold on. A mid, in danger, no flash, no Vanguard's Edge. Gets a lot of damage with the Seismic Shove away, but a mid actually will turn it back, picking up the kill. Well, Final Ninja hashing up into the top lane with a stun onto the minion. Make sure that a mid will still die, so it's a 1-for-1 top.
I was too distracted trying to think of what those little things on top of it.
I get it.
No, it's one of those.
Mobile?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, I just thought of it right now. It literally was eluding me that whole fight too.
No, yeah. It's one of those. It's the worst like sort of moment to have. It's like when you know exactly what you want to say, but you like it's just like I don't know the word.
Fun fact about me and mobiles. One almost fell on my head as a baby.
Well, luckily it didn't, because then you'd probably be more like me in the ability to like not be baited by everything.
See, I think my parents just say it didn't fall on me, but in reality, you know.
Oh well.
Yeah,
it's allegedly.
Allegedly. All right, well, more top fight. A mid still wants to fight against Knight's Raven. But I still am actually now. I'm even more worried now for a mid because that is the Bramble Vest that has been completed. And this is, like I said, these components are really the time when that Cassante matchup is going to be Cassante favored against Aurelia. And until you get that full item completed for a mid, not really going to be able to fight back. But we see that already Knight's Raven is on the rotation. So even though they got the pull on Cherry, now the Baby Cage will flash away from Obelisk, but denying the Keeper's verdict, continuing the hunt. But look at a mid on the other side. They spotted him out. And look, keep in mind, the Vanguard's Edge is up, thrown at Cassante, tagging onto Cherry, but nobody following that up. It's going to be a mid trying to flash forward with Embers to 5, pulling back in Earl King, shoved into the wall, getting a lot of damage, but the Baby Cage will lock him into place while they get to the train onto the mid lane. Then Ori falling into the grave, double kill for Knight's Raven.
Yeah, That did not go so great for a mid. And one of those things that with running into Talia, I do believe if I saw correctly, he like clipped one or two of the edge of the I always forget what the minefield.
Vanguard's edge.
No, not the Vanguard's edge. The Talia E. The minefield.
I always just call it the minefield too.
Yeah, I know, because my brain always wants to say worked ground, but that's the passive. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I absolutely know.
Unraveled Earth.
Yes.
There it is. I had to think about it for a second as well. Yeah, it just tagged that, and then a mid did die there, so didn't actually get the kill. It was a good flank too from the mid. I actually feel really bad because I really thought that was that point because Aurelia was going to step up, but again, you really do need those items as Aurelia. It helps not only with the cooldown, but surviving. Getting the heal that you get from having the Plate of the Ruin King, plus the slow so you can keep on your targets. That's why having a mid get back into the top lane, using that TP, getting 2 plates worth of gold is going to help out a mid a lot here. And I wouldn't be surprised if a mid tries to go for another cheater recall here. Just try to get back to spend some of that gold. Because you kind of need that, again, against Cassante. As the Cassante, even if he's not at a full item, it doesn't matter. These components are strong enough to completely neutralize an Aurelia.
Yeah, but more to what my point was kind of with Amid and hitting the Unraveled Earth there, is that there's just so many different ways that the composition of We Love Soulbert has to just say no to what Aurelia wants to do.
Yep. That
even just slightly clipping the edge of it stunned him right in the middle of 3 Soulbert members.
Oh, good sidestep there from counter picking, but taking a lot of damage. Not quite tanky just yet. Went for the Knight's Vow as the first item on Poppy. Means you're very squishy as a Riri. Last cone is there, but can you get it in time? The answer is no.
And once again, that Unraveled Earth coming up massive here in these fights. Kind of almost a bit sneakily slow because it's towards the edge of the ability that these members of Ardivore Esports have been getting caught on.
What's the end of the ability, or just it's dashing as well? You know, dash automatically pops them. And think about it. There's a lot of dashes on the other side. You have who's not dashing on your side. Technically, even Poppy and Nautilus will dash. Heroic Charge is considered a dash. Same with
it is. That's right.
Use your dredge line on a wall, it's a dash as well.
No, yeah, I knew dredge line was. But...
all of these are gonna make it so that you pop the Unraveled Earth. Now Riri using the minion to get away. Tempered's Fate did not connect, but they got a lot of damage on Ori as he's just getting peppered here, picking up the rampage for Cherry.
Goodness. Yeah, Cherry has on one hand played incredibly well. On the other hand, just has a champion that says no to the entire enemy team composition. To be fair to Cherry, they have played this game as well as you can, and there's always a certain level of execution that you can't never deny.
This is when you feel bad when you're getting chased away by a Bard. That's Poppy. That's when I kind of know things are maybe due.
Yeah, it's
that's a TP2 from Vigard. They're not done. They're just trying to scare away, make sure that counterpicking couldn't easily recall. Top lane, like I said, we're at this point where that is an Iceborne Gauntlet up against the Blade of the Ruin King. You have the advantage as Aurelia when you first get the item, and there's still components for the Cassante. When you're both even on levels, both even on items even, that's when you struggle. Right there, getting pulled underneath with the all-out as well. Taking up a turret shot. You might have gotten the duet to land, but the dash is in. Vanguard's edge used to get a lot of research. Shut down. Amid just turns it right around.
Okay, fair play. I thought mid was just doomed there after taking 2 tower shots.
So did I.
Fair play. I stand corrected, and
as do I. Amid, well done. Especially with the Brambles Fest, I thought there's not going to be enough healing for Amid to actually have it worthwhile. But Amid trying to take down the turret before this damage will come through from Cherry, using at least a little bit of that spell resistance, but unfortunately Cherry's damage is just way too much.
I mean, it's like 1 HP, but still, it's what it's mental. It's like that mental warfare damage. That's just like, oh my god, we didn't even get the tower, guys. Even though,
honestly, I'm gonna be honest, if I was Soulbert here too, the ultimate BM would be to have made sure that the wave was going to still push back. So that way, a
Uh-huh.
mid's still dead, and the turret dies to minions, so you can't even get the local gold.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah, that would be the ultimate, like, not that wouldn't even be like a no respect play. I'd say that'd be more of an ideal way to go about it.
It's a very difficult way to go about it too, because TP was there for a mid, so you'd have to make sure that's happening perfectly at that time. Well, speaking of perfectly, Jerry, that's a lot of damage on a counter picking again. When you go for the Knight's down,
no,
you
it's
have
hit
no
by the baby
resistance,
cage.
flashed away, but immediately gets ult. The primordial burst is way too much for counter picking. Well, the turret will die in the bot lane. The first one picked up for Art of War. Obelisk tries to go in. The dash, though, Cherry, way too good at making sure that nobody's connecting anything, even though Obelisk will stand tall. You had to burn flash, and they're going to just pop the Rift Herald here in mid.
Yeah, it just tries to go for that Shurima shuffle. Emperor's Divide available, but once again,
Cherry did a good job with the flash.
Cherry's
Such a good flash.
kit. Well, yeah, Cherry won the flash was good, but also Cherry's kit.
Oh, wait a minute, a mid. Here in the mid lane, Baby Cage connecting, looking for the stun, but guess who's on the other side, taking the wall ride. Even if you've got a shield, Earl King, you're gonna be toppled there. The rain is done. It's a shutdown for Dolan.
Yeah, just a bit over-eager from the side of We Love Soulbird. And out of all the champions you do want that shutdown going on to, Zeri and Dolan certainly the one that you would like to see the most on the side of Art of War. I feel like even though she does have the dash, it's a lot less. I mean, it is. I mean, unless you flip over a wall, it's a lot.
Well, the reason why, as Zeri, you're still gonna dash in a fight because you want to get the Qs to go through targets too, so you're hitting more people.
Yeah.
So you'll be dashing in a fight no matter what.
I was just thinking that's a lot shorter of a distance, so it's a lot easier to control. Because I feel like
True.
Because through a lot of these fights, I hope that it's just a slight misjudgment from the side of Art of War, just barely clipping. Oh yeah,
my hope here is that Cherry uses the Weaver's Wall in one play, where they're in a side lane and Dolan's there too, and then Dolan uses that same wall to ride all the way into the fight. That'd be pretty cool, just gonna say.
That I like your thinking.
Yeah, you see? But now, the thinking here is kill a mid in the mid lane, pulled back in, using the no tofu strikes with the seismic shove. They picked up the kill on the mid, but guess what? The dragon was taken on the other side. Tempered Fate didn't connect on anybody, but they're still peppering with rocks, hitting Oriri, while they're still locked themselves into the tri-bush. Magical Journey taken only by Fruit Ninja, but with the Baby Cage put down, you're locked in, and how do you escape from this one? You can punch one out, but you're locked down too. Kill for double up on a Soul Burn.
Yeah, wow. 4 for nothing. I mean, what else? Obelisk?
It might be more, because Obelisk is just
fine,
getting
right?
chased. I don't know. Oh, okay, if Knight Raven had landed that Tofu strike, they would have dove right there and probably gotten another kill. They're just like, they were ready for it. Even with the Sun Disc here in the bot lane, that offered no safety. That lane, that tier 2 turret as well, doesn't provide any safety against 2 tanks. So
Riri,
you're
not tanky, Riri. They're not gonna, Riri.
Yeah, Riri, you thought they were all out of there. Same with the mid. They got the stun on to final Ninja, but they dashed in just to die, even with the dredge line. It's the other side as Obelisk tried to get rid of the Bard, but is the Bard really worth it when you're locked in the Baby Cage? Yes, push them back, but now you're shut down, even with the shove into the wall. But here's True Shot Barrage from downtown. Soulbird finds a killing spree with side jump, and again, they've locked him into the Baby Cage. Night, sweet prince, it's an ace.
Yeah. The amount of just I've taken like mental warfare damage from that. I could only imagine what the side of Art of War takes after that. You get taken down 4 for nothing in a fight, and then you respawn, and then you immediately get aced. It's like
The thing is, then the 2 targets that are most important, Cherry, Soulbert, were unthreatened in that entire fight. They killed Final Ninja. They were on top of Earl King on Knight Raven. Yeah, you know, it's fine to kill the Vigar, yes. But there's a 7-0 to Leah on that team who has 10 stacks of Dark Seal. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up getting a Magi's.
Yeah, it I don't know how else to
There it is. There it
like
is.
it speaks for. Oh yeah, there's the death note. Yeah, it really just speaks for itself. I don't think there are any sort of words that can really just do the justice, and you just watch and go, yeah, that's how that works. It's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. I just witness them play out in front of me, and the fact that Soulbird and Cherry are so safe throughout these fights, like they're never threatened at all, or at least they haven't been.
Yeah.
In them, and if you're
gonna win this one for Art of War, like I'm not gonna say the game's over, because ain't no game over till it's over.
Oh no, of course not.
I've seen.
Last week
I've seen 20,000 gold leads be thrown out the window.
If there is any team that knows that it's not over until it's over, we saw last week how We Love Soulbird dominated Game 3 against TTM Tethys, and then they lost 2 fights, and then they lost the game.
Well,
it's just how it went.
Right now, Baby Cage thrown out again. There's a spell shield that's flashed away. They don't even want to lose that on an Obelisk. Holding on the best they can with Verdant Barrier. Another Baby Cage thrown down, getting the lockdown on a counter picking, even throwing out the Baleful Strike and a couple of Pebbles, but none of them connecting. The Baron, you know, it's actually surprising because if you look at the compositions here, the only side that really has a good Baron take is going to be that of Art of War. They can take that pretty quickly if they get on top of it, so they can sneak that away, and while a mid is on the side lane, getting a lot of damage onto these turrets, those could be maybe the saving graces here for Art of War. Utilize a 4-1 around the Baron. See that if there's ever this Knight's Raven in the bot lane trying to fight against a mid who's already got the 2 about before, you can't fight against a mid anymore.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You're down 2 levels, and Aurelia has 2 items there, sir.
Baby K was put down. Flash away, though. Wait a minute. Earl King, the ultimate baiter there, had baited in Obelisk and counterpicking to stay in this top lane for so long, and they just need one more pebble to connect here on a counterpicking, get rid of the smite, dashing in, but it was all stuff. Even if you use the Emperor's Divide, the Emperor's divided in half.
I mean, once again, they dash over the. I always want to say work. I hate myself.
Okay,
the Unraveled Earth.
Final Ninja, I know you think you're a ninja because you're a bard. You're not fighting an Aurelia. Even with that, oh no way! That tempered fate connecting. You still die, but dashing over the wall. Now throwing their hat into the ring. It's the rampage for Soulbird.
That does give enough time for the side of Art of War Esports to take that mid-tier 1 tower. At the very least, it's the pittance that you can be offered in this trying time.
The thing is, actually, I'm okay with this for Art of War. I think this play only benefits them.
It does. It does.
What does it get for Soulbird? The dragon gets nothing. It's only going to be the second one of the game, and it gives valuable time to Art of War. They have an Azir, Azeri, Aurelia, all of which are so reliant on having 2 to 3 items. A mid is on 3 items. Perfect. You got your side lane set up. Now you just need to get your Azir and Zeri to that point too.
Yeah, and Brain, wait. I'm really bad with like refining my thoughts.
It's okay. It's okay. Take your time.
I'm going to need it.
Just meditate. You just gotta meditate.
Aurelia, that's right.
Aurelia, yes, Aurelia.
With a mid is the levels, and even though we were joking at this.
Not a mid.
This is solo cast now. You guys can have fun with it.
Really?
Goodness me.
All right. Oh wait a minute. I don't think you're going to be allowed to because Cherry had found out a Riri and counterpicking there, and with Earl King, this top lane trying to shove out the wave, I thought maybe there could have been a fight.
I should not have taken off my headphones there. That was a mistake.
It's okay. I've done a blindfold cast where my caster was also deafened, so it's okay. Oh, and that's not okay. That's not okay. Just getting the kill on a Riri like that. So mid, this is where you need to win the game for the team. 1v9, get this kill, 2 levels up on your opponent. You had to flash away because the turret was doing a lot of damage. Roll the temper fate to connect onto Cherry. That's the damage dealer, Obelisk, and the keeper's verdict doesn't punch anybody away with the Sun Disc put down to body block a little bit, but not that damage. Double kill for Earl King. He's unstoppable on Vigar.
Well, that completely negates the point that I had in my head, was that Amid is 2 levels up on Night Ravens, and there aren't really too many people that can counter him in the side lane. And you ended up saying that anyway. And that if they could generate pressure for the rest of the team to pull something off there, but then as soon as I was thinking about that...
They're still doing that. Look at this. Amid's actually going to get a turret, regardless. Level 16, huge power point for a mid on this Aurelia. The only thing is you need that 4th item if you actually want to be able to take on this entire team.
Cherry? Cherry?
Okay, well, flash in from Final Ninja. Does a mid pull the trigger? Looking for the duet. It connects on to 3 people, but the baby cage, so unfair to deal with.
Yeah, yeah. Flash in with the meeps, the auto attack, the slow at that point.
I do find that Weaver's Wall though quite funny from Cherry.
Yeah, I think I mean, it CC'd me.
I think it CC'd everyone, even his own team for a second there. We
Yeah,
saw
like,
that.
I don't think I've ever seen a. Well, are we counting the players themselves as like separate members to the champions?
Yes.
Okay, so I've never seen a 22-man stun before.
Fair. Yeah,
It's a 10 player game, and yeah, I've just witnessed a 22-man stun.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But speaking of stunning, right now the performance for We Love Soulbird, besides that from Cherry, they're looking to stun everybody by taking this 2-0 commandingly. They're at 26 kills and 27 minutes into the game, and we're looking for another fight with Amid on the other side. They've got the Redemption trying to heal them up. Final Ninja still alive, but Amid still diving into the back line, getting on top of Soulbird. That's 1 carry shut down while there's a kill on to Counter Picking. They have a lot of silence on Zeri. 2 alive still, 2 huge carries, but they're AP, and they can't really fight back against Amid or the other 2 members that remained here for Art of War.
They're still sticking around though, despite
Jerry just throwing that down.
Oh wait, no, this isn't good.
No, Amid! Oh no!
I don't know if the voice lines are like the same across clients, but the timing of that on my head, right as you finished saying no, I heard Talia going like, nah. That's hilarious. I was just like, I was like, that it's those moments that you're just like, when unintentionally the game interacts.
I hope that got caught on the stream.
I hope so as well, because I don't. This is a behind the scenes moment. I'm actually in the spectator client as well. Meanwhile, Mad Magical here is going through Discord, and so I really hope that on the stream it came out that way, because that would have been perfect. But either way, to it was one of those things where just a bit overconfident from the mid, and it's like, oh yeah, we have health bars, we have well, actually not quite health bars on Cherry, but we do have at least a good portion of our health bars. We have numbers. We keep pushing this, but then you forget that you're running into an 11-2 Veigar and an 8-0 Talia.
And the thing is, they did get shut down on the Soulbird, right?
They did.
But
they did.
But then look at how the shutdown is for Earl King and Cherry. A little bit different.
Actually, Amid.
Mid. You could look for the fight. The baby cage did not land, but oh man, there was just way too much damage. That's not fair for a mid.
I respect the attempt. A little bit. I'm not sure if it was the most advised, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like
trying to hope
it's like you're already dead, and it's like if I don't try this, I die anyway. It's like might as well. And actually, speaking of death, there's a not fight.
The thing is, you kind of have to fight. If you're Art of War, 1 inhibitor is gone, mid lane is exposed. If you don't fight, you're just gonna get peppered by all of this damage. You can see how the Baleful Strikes throw it out, the meteors as well. Baby Cage locking in, counter pick, who can't escape.
Oh
and
my goodness.
Down. Even if you try to flash away, the Keeper's Verdict wasn't even in time with the Primordial Burst, getting solo kill.
Oh my goodness.
the rest of the members flashing away, but the baby cage again coming off cooldown, getting a lot of damage while Dolan trying his best, peppering him with the spray and pray, but just couldn't get it. Not enough. It is going to be We Love Solbert taking this game. Only a support is up. Actually, a mid is back up as well. Raven has TP if they need to. Minions are in the base. Another baby cage lands onto a mid. First to damage. Pop goes the balloon of Oriri, and a mid is going to die too. Double kill for Solbert. Game 1. It's a double win for We Love Solbert. Mishmash Edition going 2-0 against Art of War Esports.
Yeah, and even though Art of War is not necessarily the most touted coming into the season, and clearly not having the best of times right now, this is still such a statement from We Love Solbert Mishmash Edition, because they've been close both weeks up until now. That's without their regular starting jungler, and now with Azir enabled again, that opens up. It opens up the champ pool and their drafts, and now that they have Cherry's. I mean, to be fair, not the only person who's done incredibly this series so far, but certainly one of the best on the side of We Love Solbert Mishmash Edition. And to just go in it and dominate in the manner that they did, it's not quite their back, because they never were quite there, but they were always on the fringes, and I think they might be in well and truly in it now.
Yeah, I think so too, because both games were pretty commanding, right? Especially looking at like Cherry and how they were playing around the map. Like in game 1, it wasn't as prevalent at first, but there was a point where it just was obvious how much Cherry was moving around the map compared to that of counterpicking, who was trying on the Belveth, but it was hard. And this game was, you're 10-0 on the jungle. You had Magi's fully stacked. Like that is a super impressive scoreline to have as a jungler.
Yeah, game 2 was just. I mean, I don't even know if a fight would be like, generally when you say a fight, typically has like blows back and forth, and I guess there were a few with to be fair, with a mid a few times in the side lanes, but for the most part is yeah. I've been CC'd IRL as a result, so take that as you will.
So wait, are you still CC'd from? Are you CC'd from the games or that Weaver's Wall still? That's the really important thing.
I think it's been layered, right? It's like been perfectly layered.
Like
I was finally, yeah, like an onion. I actually don't know how that second one goes. I know that, like Leona's
Chat,
entire
I hope
kit.
you flame. I hope you flame. I absolutely hope you flame Magic for not knowing the Shark reference.
We're done here. We're game 2. It's done. We Love Solbert Mishmash Edition. Incredible stuff. Thank you for tuning in. I need to go.
We're gonna raid. I think we're gonna raid.
I need to go consider. I need to go consider my life choices and buy QSS IRL, so I'm no longer at CC. And yeah.
All right, peace out, everybody. We'll see you next time.